What's up? I was happily able to pick up two of the 5D's Legendary Collection decks, and I built myself a Blackwing deck with the Blackwing cards I had at my disposal as well that don't come in the deck. Now, I don't have all the cards that don't come in the Legendary deck for Crow, but this is just a quick combo video of what you can do with the cards in the deck. Now, I bought two, but again, even if you buy one, you still should be able to just play because you get play sets of everything you actually would need for this combo. So let's go ahead and get started. You'll need a Poison One in hand and any Blackwing. This could be any Blackwing monster in hand. It doesn't really have to be Vada. It could just be anyone, even another Simone. So we'll go with Simone effect. We'll banish another Blackwing from our hand to place Black Whirlwind face up. And we also can normal summon this card as well if we choose to do so without tributing. It's by its effect, so we still have our normal summon for the turn. So we'll go ahead and do that. On normal summon, Whirlwind will trigger. We can go and add a Blackwing monster with less attack. We'll add Phantom Glimmer. We'll normal Phantom Glimmer as our normal summon for the turn. On summon, Chainlink 1 to add a card that mentions Blackwing Dragon from deck to hand. Chainlink 2, Whirlwind to add a Blackwing with less attack. So Whirlwind will just add Vata. And Glimmer will add Shamal. All right. Now here we'll go Shamal effect. We'll send it to place Blackwing Whirlwind. Face up. Black Feather Whirlwind. My apologies. We'll special Vata since you're controlling another Blackwing. We'll go Vata effect. We can send itself and Blackwing from our deck to our graveyard to Synchro Summon. Now, you include itself, so we already have a level 2 tuner, and we want to go into Blackwing Dragon, which is a 8, so we just need to send a non-tuner level 4 and a non-tuner level 2. The level 2 will be Chinook, and the level 4 will be Zephyros. If you open Zephyros, then you'll just have to send another level 4 and just play from there. Unfortunately, but since Zephyros was in the deck, we'll send these 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll synchro into Blackwing Dragon. On summon, we'll trigger Chainlink 1, Blackwing Shamal, banish. We can target a Blackwing in our grave to add back to our hand. We'll add Chinook, and Chainlink 2 will be Whirlwind. We can target one of our Blackwing monsters or Blackwing dragons that's in our grave or banish with less attack than the Synchro Summon monster, and special summon it. We'll just target the Shamal that we just banished the special back to the field. And then we'll add the Chinook back to hand. Now we'll go Sudri effect. We can tribute a monster. We'll just tribute Poison, and we special summon a level 2 Dark Tuner. Wing Beast Tuner. A level 2 Wing Beast Tuner. Now that we have this, we can go into... and also when this is summoned, I forgot, when this is summoned, we have to pay 700 when it's banished, but since we have Blackwing Dragon on the field, we'll just give it a wedge counter so we don't have to pay that 700 life. And also for the Blackwing Sudri, when we tribute and make a token, we have to pay 700, but since we have Blackwing Dragon, we'll just put a wedge counter on it so we don't have to pay that life. All right, so here we'll just go Zephyros, engrave, target the Sudri to bounce and special himself. And again, we will be paying that 700, but we'll just go ahead and put a wedge counter on Blackwing Dragon. We'll use the level 4 Zephyros and the level 2 Tuner. We special the token and go into a Blackwing Nothung to Starlight. On summon, we'll burn our opponent for 800 life. And then we'll activate the effect. We get an additional normal summon immediately after it resolves. So we'll normal back Phantom Glimmer. We could go Glimmer Chainlink 1 to add a card that mentions Blackwing Dragon from deck to hand. Since it's not a Card once per turn, chainlink 2, whirlwind to add a Blackwing with less attack. So the Blackwing will be adding off that will be Blackwing Sharanga, the Waiting Moon, and the card that mentions Blackwing Dragon. You could either add, we'll add a Twin Shadow or a Blackbird Close. Blackbird Close is a yeah, Blackbird Close is a counter trap. When your opponent activates monster effect they control, you can send a face up Blackwing you control to the grave, negate the activation, destroy it. Then you can special summon a Blackwing Dragon from your extra deck. If you control a Blackwing Synchro Monster or a Blackwing Dragon. But we'll just go for Twin Shadow because we can activate it from hand. If we control 2 or more Blackwing monsters, we can activate this from hand, and it lets us synchro summon by shuffling back from the banish zone and or graveyard. So we'll just add this. Now we'll go, since we control a monster with 2,000 or more attack, we can special summon Sharanga, the Waning Moon. This just has a graveyard effect to pop, and we're going to use it as synchro material. Level 2 tuner. So now here what we can do is we'll just go 4, 5, 6. We could go into 6, we can go into 8, or we can go into 8. Or we can go into 10. What we're going to do is we're just going to go for 6. Go into Blackwing, Storm, the Wicked Winds. When this is Synchro Summon, we can send a Blackwing monster from our deck to the grave, and he'll gain the level of it. So what we're going to do is, since we want to go into full Armor Master first, here's our 8, 9, 10, and it's a tuner. We'll just send a level 2 Blackwing monster, which we have plenty. Well, we'll just send a Armata. So he become a level 2. Now we'll synchro summon 8, 9, 10. We'll use the Blackwing Dragon and Boar Storm for 10. We'll go into a full Armor Master. Next, what we can do is we could go into another 10 with these two. So what we can do is banish first the Blackwing Dragon and the Boar Storm, because you have to banish a Blackwing Dragon and a Blackwing Synchro Tuner or Blackwing Assault Dragon. Its alternative synchro summoning effect is we either have to just regularly synchro summon it, which it requires a synchro tuner and a non-tuner, one or more non-tuners, or we can special it from the extra deck by banishing a tuner synchro monster and a Blackwing Dragon face up from the field or graveyard, which we have in our grave Blackwing Dragon and a Blackwing Synchro Tuner. So we've done that. And here, what we can do is we could just go into a second Assault Dragon, or we can go into a second full Armor Master. What I'm just going to do is do this, go into 10, and just go straight into a second Blackwing Assault Dragon. And since we have the 2 Blackwings face up on the field, we can either keep Twin Shadow in hand and just activate it from hand, or we could set it and just let our opponent go. And we also have the Chinook in hand. We can either send it from the field or graveyard to target a face-up monster our opponent controls. Send one Blackwing Synchro or Blackwing Dragon from our extra to the graveyard. If we do, the targeted monster we target it loses 700 attack and negate its effects. It's a quick effect if we control a Dark Synchro monster, which we control 3, and we have a graveyard effect. That's a quick effect. The Sharanga, the Waning Moon, we can banish this from the grave since we control a Dark Synchro monster or Blackwing Synchro monster. We can banish this and target the face-up card our opponent controls and destroy it. So we have the Black Wing, Black Winged. These don't count as Black Wings, but we have the full Armor Master. Then we can just let our opponent play. They go, and every time our opponent activates a card or effect, well, every time they activate a monster effect, we place one feather counter on this card, and when it resolves, we inflict 700 to our opponent. So every time they activate a monster effect, they're burning for 14. We also have the full Armor Master that's unaffected by other card effects. Each time our opponent's monster declares an effect, it'll get a wedge counter on it. When it resolves, and then once per turn, I could target one of my opponent's monsters that have a wedge counter on it and destroy all monsters on the field that have a wedge counter. And or we can take control of a monster that has a wedge counter on it that our opponent controls, which is nice. So we let our opponent pass, right? If they draw face, if they have anything, again, we have Twin Shadow in hand. We just let them burn, or if we want them to burn for more, we could just activate Twin Shadow, and we could shuffle 2 Blackwing monsters, a tuner and 1 non-tuner that are banished and or in our grave into the deck and synchro summon. This is treated as a synchro summon, and if I control 2 or more Blackwing monsters, I can activate it from the hand, which is what I'm doing. So what we can do is, again, the only really 2 monsters you would want to synchro summon, right, are another Assault Dragon or another Blackwing Full Armor Master. Now, this board is not super poly. There's nothing they could super poly. They could kaiju over it, but nobody's playing kaijus. Unaffected Full Armor Master, burn your opponent. So since we already have 1 Full Armor Master, and again, they're all both level 10s. I'm just going to go and see if I can go into a 10. So 6 and a level 4. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, so we'll shuffle back a level 4 and a level 6 to bring out another Blackwing Assault Dragon. And that's pretty much it. Now we burn our opponents for 21 every time they activate a monster effect. We have an unaffected Full Armor Master. And again, we still have the Chinook in hand to send and negate, and we still have the Sharinga in the graveyard to banish, target a face-up card on the field, and pop it if we need to. And again, this is obviously not getting hand trapped and stuff. So if your opponent doesn't have any hand traps and you happen to go first, or it's game 3, you're going first, and you like open called by or anything like that, then you're just in good shape. But yeah, again, it's just a fun deck, casual deck, not really serious. But again, it's pretty strong. I know there's combos where you could just go into 3 Blackwing Assault Dragons, which you can, because instead of just going full Armor Master, I could have just went into the third Assault Dragon first, and then regularly just go into the other 2, and again during my opponent's turn just synchro summon into the full armor. But again, if you can, just go into this first, because your opponent holds Nibiru or something like that, or they have a Kaiju or Lava Golem in hand, then you wait to activate the trap, I believe, the Twin Shadow. So at least then, if it gets Kaiju'd or Lava Golem, right, you still will have either a Assault Dragon on field or 1 Armor Master on field. Or if these 2 just get like Lava Golem, right, and this gets Kaiju'd, you don't have anything. You still have the Twin Dragon to synchro summon into that 3rd Winged Assault Dragon, but more than likely, realistically, you'd be going into a full Armor Master. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And again, if you open Twin Shadow, you just go for the counter trap and add it to hand, and you'll just be in a better position for the monster negate. But again, it's just a fun deck. I recommend picking it up. The Chibi Signer Dragons are really cool. They're all secret. The Blackwing Dragon, Black Rose Dragon and Stardust Dragon are really cool and cute. I recommend picking it up at least one. Sadly, all three, like, it comes with a lot of hand traps, but the Charmies, it's one per deck, structure deck. So you would need to buy three whole legendary structure decks if you want to have a playset of all the Charmies in common. But again, fun deck. Thank you guys for watching. Haven't made Yu-Gi-Oh in a while. Life's busy. Life's about to get busier. But that's it. That was the combo. Have fun and happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. I know it's December. And good luck out there, duelists. Have a great day. Thank you for watching.